Hello, you're watching a Dell Chassis Management Controller demo that covers newer features such as BIOS profile capture, clone chassis, and chassis inventory reports. I'm Peter Tsai, Community Technologist at DellTechCenter.com. To get the new features, namely Blade BIOS capture and one-to-many apply, chassis configuration clone, and chassis cluster-wide inventory reporting, you need to upgrade to Chassis Management Controller version 4.0 or greater. In this demo, we're upgrading the CMC from version 3.21 to version 4.1, which has the additional functionality of working with all the new Dell 12th generation server platforms. To update CMC firmware, click on the Update tab in the Chassis Overview menu, select the CMCs you want to update, then click on Apply CMC Update. Browse to the firmware image.cmc that you downloaded from support.dell.com, then click Begin Firmware Update. The update process takes several minutes to complete, and you'll have to log back into the CMC after the update is complete. We sped up the video in this demonstration so you don't have to wait through the complete install process. Here you can see that the firmware version is now set to version 4.1. For systems with an iDRAC, you can view processor info and memory capacity of each blade. This information is captured when the iDRAC collects inventory during each reboot. The first feature we will explore is BIOS capture, which allows us to view BIOS settings of a member blade and capture BIOS settings to a profile on CMC extended storage, which is stored on SD media on the CMC card. This feature is available on Lifecycle Controller, so it'll work on 11th and 12th generation servers. From the CMC's Server Overview menu, go to the Setup tab, then the Profiles option, to view the BIOS settings for memory, processor, boot, integrated devices, serial communication, power management, system security, and more. You can save a BIOS profile from an existing blade in the chassis by clicking on Add Profile, where you can give it a profile name and description. Once captured, the BIOS profile can be applied to other blades, ensuring an automated and consistent process when installing new blades or if you want to change a setting across several servers. The CMC writes the BIOS configuration to the Lifecycle Controller and initiates a reboot of each server to make the changes. In the Manage Profile section, you can view the BIOS profiles that you've saved or change their name and description. Another new feature in CMC 4.0 and newer is cluster-wide inventory reporting, which allows you to generate a spreadsheet of all the components across multiple chassis from the CMC GUI of your lead chassis. When you save an inventory report, you create a CSV file that contains information on blades, I/O modules, and slots. Here you can find details like chassis name, model name, service tag, CPU type, memory capacity, OS type, host name, and DRAC address. Using cluster-wide inventory reporting, you can more easily generate an accurate list of installed hardware and save time it would have taken to take inventory manually. Finally, the clone chassis feature was also introduced in the CMC version 4.0. When adding a new member to the lead chassis group from the Group Administration menu of the lead chassis, this new feature provides an option to copy or clone alerting and directory services settings to the new member chassis when you select the Sync New Member with Leader Properties option. This feature can automatically update up to 80 parameters that help you configure settings for Active Directory, Standard Schema, LDAP role group, traps, alerts, email alerts, and SNMP. Thank you for watching this video on the newer features in the Chassis Management Controller. For more information about the Dell Chassis Management Controller, go to DellTechCenter.com/CMC.